Etali.
Can I also repeat?
Yes, Nana. First let Anshu Akka repeat. Then you want it, so you can also repeat. Anybody who wants to repeat can. Anshu, you are ready? Nahi prapashyami.
Nahi prapashyami.
Mamapanudyad.
Mamapanudyad.
Nahi prapashyami. Mamapanudyad.
Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad.
Yachokam.
Yachokam.
Uchchoshanam.
Uchchoshanam.
Indriyanam.
Indriyanam.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Very good. Let's try these two lines first. Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad. Yachokam indriyanam.
Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad. Yachokam indriyanam.
Avapya bhumava.
Avapya bhumava.
Asapatnamruddham.
Asapatnamruddham.
So we'll combine these two. Avapya bhumava.
Avapya bhumava.
Asapatnamruddham.
Asapatnamruddham.
Avapya bhumava sapatnamruddham.
Avapya bhumava vasapatnamruddham.
Very good. Rajyam suranamapi.
Rajyam suranamapi.
Rajyam suranamapi.
Rajyam suranamapi.
Chadhipatyam.
Chadipatyam.
Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam.
Rajyam suranamapi chadipatyam.
Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad.
Nahi prapashyami mamapanudyad.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Avapya bhumava sapatnamruddham.
Avapya bhumava sapatnamruddham.
Rajyam suranamapi chadhipatyam.
Rajyam suranamapi chadipatyam.
Kirtitali, you said you are going to say, you are going to chant after me, right? Chapnana.
Yeah.
Nahi prapashyami.
Nahi prashyami.
Nahi prapashyami.
Nahi prapashyami.
Mamapanudyad.
Mamapanudyad.
Uchchokam. Sorry.
Uchchokam.
Yachokam.
Yachokam.
Uchchoshanam.
Uchchosanam.
Indriyanam.
Indriyanam.
Yat shokam. Uchchoshanam. Indriyanam. These are 4 words there. Yachokam uchchoshanam indriyanam.
Yachokam indriyanam.
Yachokam uchchoshanam indriyanam.
यच्छोकमुच्छोकम् इन्द्रियाणाम्
Say these words, Nana. Yat
यत्
shokam
शोकम्
uchchoshanam
उच्चोषणम्
indriyanam.
इन्द्रियाणाम्
Yat shokam
यत् शोकम्
uchchoshanam
उच्छोषणम्
indriyanam.
इन्द्रियाणाम्
Yat shokam uchchoshanam
यत् शोकम् उच्छोषणम्
indriyanam.
इन्द्रियाणाम्
Yat shokam uchchoshanam indriyanam.
यत् शोकम् उच्छोषणम् इन्द्रियाणाम्
Very good. That is the word. That's the line. Yat shokam uchchoshanam indriyanam.
यत् शोकम् उच्छोषणम् इन्द्रियाणाम्
Fantastic. Very good. Avapya bhumava
अवाप्य भूमाव
asapatnam ruddham.
असपत्तमुत्यम्
Asapatnam riddham. Those are two words.
असपत्ररुद्रम्
Asapatnam riddham.
असपत्ररुद्रम्
Rajyam suranamapi.
राज्यम् शुराणामपि
Chadhipatyam.
चाधिपत्यम्
Very good. So, nahi prapashyami mamapanudhyat yacchokamuccoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapattamriddham rajyam suranam api chadhipatyam. So, concluding, Arjuna says, he already said that I am not able to understand, I am not able to take a decision. I know my mind is not stable. I know I'm going through a lot of disturbance. I know I'm emotionally overwhelmed with all the feelings. In this moment, I cannot take a wise decision. I don't know whether I should win over them or should they win over me. I don't understand this, Krishna. Hence, since I don't have control on myself, I offer myself at your feet. My mind, my body, and my intellect, my ability to think is all being offered at your feet. Shishyasteham. He said that in the previous one. In this one, he says, Nahi prapashyami. I cannot see anything. He is concluding that. Just because he wants to know how he can come out of this problem. See, one thing is being in the problem. Every one of us should have a very strong commitment to come out of the problem. Without that commitment, it is not possible to ever come out of that situation which is causing the problem. Okay? That's the thing. If you have to come out of any given problem, the first thing is a commitment that you must and you will. I must and I will come out of this problem. That commitment should be there. But since you don't know how to, you have to offer yourself to a person who is a saint, who is knowledgeable, who is having complete awareness of how to solve this problem. And who can that be none other than Lord Shri Krishna? He has solutions to all big problems and small problems. So just meditating upon him gives us the ability to get out of the problem. So Arjuna says, Nahi prapashyami mama panudyat. I am going through a lot of turbulence and I cannot see what to be done. I am being thrown away from, see what happens when you are, it's just like that small toy, plastic toy on a wave. Have you seen? You put somewhere, it doesn't stay there. As the wave comes, it floats around and it just moves its position from one place to the other place. Even if it wants to stay, it cannot stay at one place. Even if you want that toy to stay at one place, it will not stay at that place. Why? Because of the waves. The waves come and hit these toys in and out of the ocean and they keep moving. Right? Similar is the situation of a person who is mentally agitated, who has a lot of emotions in the heart, good or bad. It is laid out. So your heart is overwhelming with all the emotions and feelings. In that situation, ability to think and take a decision is always like a toy on the wheel. It will not stick to one strong decision. You will keep fluctuating between, should I do this? Should I not do this? Can I do that? Can I do this? Or should I also do this? These kind of things will just come up and will not help us to focus. The problem here is the heart. The problem here is the emotion, that the feeling, the unnecessary overexcitement and over sadness that is ruling the heart will make this happen. So what one must do? Offer to Guru. And he's already done that. But he's telling, after offering, Krishna may come back and say, okay, Arjuna, it's lunchtime. We will meet probably after lunch and then we'll talk. No. He wants Krishna to help him right now, right at this moment. How can you tell that? If you want to take help from your teacher right away, what will you say? You will cry, or you will just say, I cannot move after this. I don't have any other thing to do. I just want this answer. You have to explain how important is that problem for you. So here Arjuna says, I am not able to see what is right, what is wrong. I am being thrown away, driven away from what I must do. Yat shokam uchoshanam indriyanam. Uchoshanam is drying away. Drying in the sense not being active. Have you ever seen that you are watching, you are seeing, eyes open, but nothing is getting into your sight? You are lost. Have you ever been in that situation? You are seeing something, but you don't recollect what you are seeing. You are hearing something, but it's not getting into you. You're just sitting there. It happened to me many times. Sometimes, in my college days, first 15 minutes I would listen very carefully. After first 15 minutes, whatever is being given, it never went in, because I gave up after 15 minutes of concentration. My problem was concentration. So yes, it happens to everyone. Now, this being present, but not taking anything inside, this being present, my nose, but not understanding any smell inside, my taste, not able to taste anything, but just the tongue is lying there, right? So these are senses. Our senses are there, but they are not able to capture anything. Why? Because they are completely inactivated. How? How can senses be inactivated? Who keeps them active? The feelings. When you eat something, you must get a feeling of either good or bad. What if you don't get any feeling after eating something or tasting something? Will you ever notice that object getting into your mouth? No. If you eat something sweet, you like it, wow. So you know something has gone in. That means your senses are active. But what if it doesn't have any taste, if it doesn't have any feeling? Then you will not have any essence of that object that is coming and contacting your senses. So Arjuna says, my heart is overwhelmed to such an extent, Lord Shri Krishna, that even the senses have stopped responding. See how difficult is the situation for Arjuna? You talk to him, he will not able to listen. Right? You give him something, he will not able to taste. You show him something, he will not able to see because he is lost. He cannot concentrate, he cannot focus on something and see something for at least 5 minutes. He's lost. So that's the problem he has. Now, he is saying, continuing, so that is yat shokam. Shokam is sadness. In this sadness, I am not able to, even my senses have shut down completely. And he says, avapya bhumava asapatnam riddham. Riddham means kingdom. Riddham means kingdom. So he says, even if this kingdom comes to me, avapya means coming to me, being mine. So even if this kingdom becomes mine later, so he's already decided that if he fights. So from the first chapter ending where he said, I'm not going to fight, to now he's trying to focus on what happens if he fights. That means at least some positive movement, isn't it? Some positive movement. So he says and says, Avapya bhuma vasapatnam riddham. Even if I get this kingdom, which comes to me as a great gift, as something that nobody can take away from me later, unrivaled, right? If such a kingdom comes to me, Rajyam, which is this whole state, Suranam apicha adhipatyam. Adhipatyam means bossism, lordship. Lordship over whom? Suranam. Who are Suranam? Those who drink Sura. What is Sura? Sura means Amrit. It's a magic potion. It's a nectar. It's a divine nectar that only Devatas can drink. It's allowed for them. And that makes them immortal. As per Puranas, as the story says, once you have Amritam, you become immortal. So that is for Devas. So he says such Devas. So that's why they are called Suran. Sura. Sura means one who drinks Sura. Suranam api cha adhipatyam. Even if you make me the boss of those Devatas, which is Agni, Vayu, Yama, Surya, Chandra, all these Devatas, even if you make me boss of those, even then, nahi prapashyami, I will not able to see anything. Why? Because my indriyas are all shut down. This is what he's saying. And hence, Sri Krishna, I want your attention immediately. Don't come back after the lunch break. Now, at this moment, I want your help. This is the zeal we must have when we go to our teachers. Whenever we go to a teacher, we should not go with a lazy attitude. When we surrender ourselves to our teachers, we should go with an attitude of immediate action. You tell me, sir, you tell me, ma'am, what I must do. I will do. Because I'm surrendering myself to you. I want this knowledge and I'm going to act not tomorrow, now. This is how an ideal student should behave. We should understand from Arjuna's example. Arjuna is setting up an example of how a disciplined student should behave. Okay? Now, again, see, when someone wants to improve, will Bhagwan help him or not? What do you think, Reem? Will Lord Shri Krishna help if we ask for help? When we say, Shri Krishna, please help us. Please, I don't have any other option. You are the only option for me. Please help me. Will he help or not? He will help. He will help immediately. Okay? Remember this. Whenever we go to a teacher, whenever we go to our parents, they are none other than Lord Shri Krishna for us. And when we say, please help, they will not even think for a moment. They will immediately help. Right? So here the focus again turns to Sanjaya. Please remember, whenever it turns to Sanjaya, what does it mean? It means that he is asking Dhritarashtra to wake up. Boss, see that person who was crying in chapter 1, within 7-8 shlokas, he has just asked, he has requested Krishna to help him out of this situation. And you know what Krishna is. You definitely know what Krishna is and what he can do. So, boss, Mr. Blind King, think about it. Stop the war. I think he is going to get back to the war. I am giving you a warning. So this is what Sanjaya says. So let's get into quickly on 9 and see what Sanjaya says further. Okay? All right. Now, this is an easier one. Kriti, you want, and Varsha also, right? Varsha and Vidra. Okay. So let's do Kriti and then I'll move on to Varsha Vidra also. Sanjaya Uvacha. Unmute yourself, Kriti.
Yeah. Sanjaya Uvacha.
Eva Muktva Hrishikesham.
Eva Muktva Arjuna Hrishikesham.
Arjuna led. Eva Muktva Hrishikesham.
Eva Muktva Hrishikesham.
Gudhakesha Parantapa.
Gunakesha Parantapa.
Gudak. Gudakesha Parantapa.
Gudakesha Parantapa.
Nayotsya iti govindam.
Nayosya iti govindam.
Uktva tushnim babhuvaha. Uktva tushnim.
Utvartushim.
Uktva tushnim. Okay? Uktva tushnim.
Utvartushim.
Babhuvaha.
Guaha.
Varsha Vidra, you can continue. Sanjaya Uvacha.
Sanjaya Vacha.
Eva Muktva Rushikesham.
Eva Muktva Rishikesham.
Gudhakesha Parantapa.
Gudakesha Parantapa.
Nayotsya iti govindam.
Nayotsya iti govindam.
Uktva tushnim babhuvaha.
Uktva tushnim babhuvaha.
Very nice, Dalli. See, Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, the blind king, Evam Uktva Rushikesham. Who is Rushikesha? Who is Rushikesha? Who can tell me? Who is Rushikesha? Huh? Lord Shri Krishna. Reem. Why he is called Rushikesha? Hrushik Esha. Hrushik means senses. Ability to sense. If you are able to hear, taste, feel the touch, smell, see, all these senses, right? If we are able to see and do all these senses, get connected to these senses, it is because of the Lord of senses. And Rushikesha is the Lord of senses because he can control. Can we control? Sometimes. Sometimes. If we don't want to see anything bad, we'll say, I don't want to see this. If I don't want to hear anything, I can say, I don't want to hear. But does that happen every time? Gossips. If somebody is saying something bad about others, don't we just put our ear there and say, yeah, let me participate in this. Don't we say that? Sometimes we do. Right? Sometimes we see something bad happening and we don't react at all. Someone beating someone, pets being ill-treated, plants being ill-treated. We see that. We ignore and we carry on. But we see. It is not that we cannot see that, right? But we just keep it. Sometimes we enjoy seeing something bad as well, which does happen to everyone. So here we are not in a control, but one who can control not just one, but all the senses is called as Rishikesha. That's none other than Lord Shri Krishna. Okay? Why he is saying Rishikesha here? Because if you see in the previous shloka, Arjuna was saying, Yat shokam uchchoshanam indriyanam. My senses are lost. They are not responding at all. So Krishna, who is the Lord of all the senses, so Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra, boss, Arjuna said he has lost his senses. Look, the Lord of all the senses is just next to him, riding the horses. He is ready to help. Evam uktva Rishikesham, Gudhakesha. Gudhakesha, who is Gudhakesha? Gudhakesha, Gudhak. We learned. So you have to remember all these. What is Gudhakesha? One. Yeah, Pranvitalli, you wanted to say something?
One who conquers sleep, uncle.
Correct. One who always conquers sleep. What is sleep? Sleep just is like, oh, that is very easy, uncle. It's like going to the bed, closing your eyes and snoring. That is sleep, correct. But here the sleep is something different. Sleep is ability to not see anything around that's happening. Isn't that what's happening in your sleep? Whatever is happening around, you hardly understand and remember what has happened. In some room, some burglar, the thief will come, he'll start stealing things, but you'll still be happily sleeping as if nothing is going on. Inability to see what's going around. Inability to understand the real situation in life. That is also sleep. Suppose if I am here, someone is feeling really bad. Me saying, I don't care, why should I care, is also sleeping. So, one who controls his sleep, when to sleep, when not to sleep, how long to sleep, when to wake up, all these, one who is in control, command of that is Gudhakesha, and that is Arjuna. Arjuna can always turn his attention towards. That is the reason why the first 7 shlokas of this chapter. If it was not Arjuna, he would have been in that bad mood for I don't know how long. A lot of people might have committed suicide or some ran away from there. He is not like that. He turned back because he decided to wake away from that particular sleepy situation and asking for the right help. He knows whom to contact. He has good networking. He knows when to go to whom and how he can wake up. So Sanjay is giving a hint to Dhritarashtra here, saying, hey boss, blind boss, you are just not blind from the body but also from the mind. I am telling you that Mr. Hrishikesha, the Lord of all the senses, is being requested by Mr. Gudhakesha, who has the ability to come out of his sleep. But that guy is saying, I am not able to fight. Na yotsyam iti Govindam. I am not able to come out of this sleep. Oh Govinda, Govinda, protector of all. Uktva tushnim babhuvaha. After saying that, he gets silent. Tushnim is silence. He maintains the silence. Arjuna maintains the silence to hear what his master says. When you say something, when you ask something, don't just keep blabbering about it. Just ask something clearly to your teacher and stop. Give him or her the opportunity to speak up. And in that silence comes the beautiful words from Lord Shri Krishna. But how it comes? Let's go to the 10th. 10th shloka. You understood, right? Tushnim babhuvaha. He just keeps silence now. Arjuna is pin drop silence. Here is my problem, go boss. You have to help me. So Sanjaya says, Arjuna is not speaking 9th verse. Who is speaking the 9th verse? Sanjaya is speaking. Arjuna stopped at 8th itself. He just said, I'm not able to see my boss. My senses are lost. You have to help me. I am your disciple. I'm surrendering to you. Okay? Ball is in your court. You take care of me now. See how beautiful. We can do this with a lot of faith on Bhagwan. Whatever comes to us in life, we can just say, hey, at your feet, drive me crazy, drive me mad, drive me productive. Let me do something else, but it's all in your hands. You make me do whatever you want me to do. I'm ready. Right? And obviously, he'll make you come out of the situation you are in. So now, Bhagwan says, Sanjaya continues this last verse to Dhritarashtra, which is like a stroke on his head and say, please get up now at least and stop the war. He says, who can repeat after me? Okay, Varsha has raised her hand. Akshita also raised her hand. So Akshita, and then I'll go to Varsha. Okay. Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha.
Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha.
Prahasanniva Bharata.
Prahasanniva Bharata.
Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha. Prahasanniva Bharata.
Tamuvacha Hrishikeshaha. Prahasanniva Bharata.
Senayorubhayor madhye.
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
विषीदन्तमिदं वचः
विषीदन्तमिदं वचः
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः.
Good. Varsha and Vidra, you can also say. तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः
तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः
प्रहसन्निव भारत
प्रहसन्निव भारत
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये
विषीदन्तमिदं वचः
विषीदन्तमिदं वचः.
Very good, very good. So Sanjaya continues to Dhritarashtra and he says, Tam uvacha. After Arjuna said these words and kept his silence, after that, Tam uvacha Hrishikeshaha prahasanniva. Lord Shri Krishna is smiling. This is the attitude of the person who has solutions to everything. See, when I'll give you an example. In a family, when a small kid tries to play around with a pen, tries to open, click that, Gautam used to do that. Whatever you give it to him, it will break in the next 1 hour or 2 hours. Any costly item, any cheap item, whatever you give him, he will just split it apart. Because that curiosity to open and see what is there inside. And then when they do something like that, they get tensed, panic. Oh my God, what did I do? Now my dad is going to, my mom is going to punish me. And then they'll come back with sad face. Oh, I did something. What do the parents? They'll just look at the pen. They know how to fix it. What they will do? They will not be angry. If they know what to do next, they'll be silent. They'll smile. A beautiful smile. That smile resembles confidence that they have a solution. Likewise, Krishna here, looking at Arjuna, gives a beautiful smile. A silent, not laughing, making a joke out of him. No, it's a beautiful smile of love and confidence that, hey, don't take care. Don't worry about this. It's not even a problem. I'm the Lord of senses. And you have a problem with the sense. I'm a cardiologist. You have a problem with the heart. I'm a nephrologist. You have a problem with the lungs. You came to me. You came to the right place. Don't worry about that. I'll heal you. This is the confidence. With that confidence comes a beautiful smile. So when after explaining a problem, if you see somebody smiling peacefully, it means they are the ones who have the ability to resolve the problem. If they also get panic, that means you need to go to some other bigger master. Someone up in the chain, master's master, and his master, and his master. And then you end up into one master who is the master of all, Jagat Guru, which is Lord Shri Krishna. Right? So, Tama uvacha Hrishikeshaha prahasanniva bharata. Arjuna, looking at Arjuna, after Arjuna spoke all those, Hrishikesha comes with a beautiful smile. Krishna comes with a beautiful smile. Senayor ubhayor madhya vishidantam idam vachaha. Vishidantam means one who is sad, one who is sorrow, which is none other than Arjuna. Looking at him, Bhagwan Shri Krishna gave a beautiful smile and said these words. Idam vachaha. Vachaha means spoken. And he starts speaking these words. What words? Are you not ready to listen what he started with? He will not directly give the solution. Let's see what he says in 11th. But the idea here is the smile of Shri Krishna. When you tell somebody a problem, and if they come back with you and say, don't worry, this is okay, we'll get through, or that's fine, it'll happen. I know what's going to happen next. Been there, done that. I'm experienced. I've followed the same thing. That means you will know what the next steps are. So you will give that assurance with a beautiful smile and confidence, right? And so comes Krishna and says the 11th shloka. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's start the 11th shloka. Who wants to go and chant the 11th shloka again? I see Pranavi Talli. Okay, Pranavi. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Ashocyananvashocastvam
वशोचस्त्वम् अशोचानन्
It is Chanan Kadana. It's Chya, CHYA.
Okay.
Ashocyanan Vashocastvam
वशोचस्त्वम्
Pragyavadamscha
प्रज्ञावादांश्च
Bhashase
भाषसे
Ashocyanan Vashocastvam Pragyavadamscha Bhashase
अशोच्यानन् वशोश्चस्त्वम् प्रज्ञावादंश्च भाषसे
Pragyavadamscha Bhashase
प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे
Gatasuna
गतासून
Gatasumscha
गताशूंश्च
Gatasuna Gatasumscha
गताशूनगताशूंश्च
Nanushocanti Panditaha
नानुशोचन्ति पण्डिताः
Panditaha, one who has complete grasp of knowledge. Those who understand the reality of any given situation, those who understand what they truly are capable of, those who have complete awareness of what is real and what is not real, such individuals are called as Panditaha. They have complete knowledge, the right knowledge. Such Panditaha na anushocanti. They will not feel sorrow or sad. They will not grieve about anything. Anything of what nature? Gatasuna, gatasumscha. Gatasuna, agatasumscha. Which means one that is present now, which is living, and the one which is dead, which is not existing anymore in this world. Gatasuna, agatasumscha. Nanushocanti Panditaha. The one who is brave enough, who has the highest knowledge, will not grieve for what exists, what does not exist. You, Arjuna, who are speaking like Prajnavadamscha Bhashase, who is speaking like Prajnavan, one with great knowledge, supreme knowledge, highest knowledge. You gave me all Swarga, this, that, all the jargon of words. I have heard your blabber for a lot of time now. It's been a first chapter entirely I've heard you. You thought or you think you are speaking like a wise man, a man with highest knowledge. But remember, one who has highest knowledge will not grieve for things that exist and things that do not exist. Because he knows that things that exist will become non-existing at some point in time. Those that not exist will again become existence after some time. So this cycle repeats, it's not in your hands. So those Pandita will not grieve. But you, Arjuna, on the other hand, who speak all these wise words, sometimes we think we are smart, but ultimately the teacher knows. Hello, this is not smart, this is over smart. So don't speak those words to me. He says, Arjuna, you feel that you are speaking all the wise words, but you know what? You are not there yet. Ashocyan and Vashochaha. So you don't have control over your grief. And you are speaking all these wisely words. One who is wise, one who has knowledge, will never ever worry about things that exist and things that do not exist. I have food today. I'll not worry about that. I don't have food today. I'll not worry about that also. This is how the Panditas behave. This is how the wise men behave. So there is a lesson from here. When there is Sri Bhagavan Vacha, let's not underestimate those words. It means this is the direction. Whenever it is Sri Bhagavan Vacha, it is not just to Arjuna. It is a pointer to us that when you have something, when you don't have something, behave in the same way. You have job, you don't have a job. You have grades, you don't have a grade. You have ability to succeed, you don't have the ability to succeed. You are able to remember, you are not able to remember. You are able to do an action, you are not able to do an action. You have somebody, you don't have somebody, doesn't matter. Panditaha, the wise, will never feel sorrow about that, will not feel sad about that. That's the first stroke to Arjuna, saying that don't act smart. You are not smart at this moment. So don't use those words that you have spoken. Don't think that I am considering you as a smart person just because you spoke those words from different Vedas. How the women will be abused, how this will happen, how that will happen. Oh, okay. I have answers to all that, but first let me tell you that I don't consider you wise because what you spoke. This is the first stroke. To make sure that person who has already surrendered is double confirmed that he stays surrendered. All right? So after this, there is going to be a beautiful journey of Bhagwan Shri Krishna talking about many different things, and I'll probably start using that board in the next class to understand what and how the life evolves. Because next, the entire up to 60, 61, up to 60 at least, I think that's the same journey we have to take all together. Okay? So let us make our foundation and fundamentals strong before we end up into those. Okay? All right. So let's do our closing prayers for today. Om Sarvesham Swasthir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Mritam Gamaya Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Anyone has any questions or doubts? Anything to ask?
No.
Is it clear today? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. See you all then. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And I know most of you will be ending up schools this year and moving on to the next classes. So all the best for all of you. We'll catch up again next week. Bye. Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna.
Oh, Hari Om.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Bye, Uncle.
Bye, Nana.
Bye.